terrific having William Shatner as my guest this evening.
Thank you, Paul.
Star Trek, the series. Interesting story, because after 2 seasons, after 2 years...
3.
Yeah, but after 2 years it was canceled.
Oh, excuse me.
And all the mail...
I thought I caught you there.
2-1, Paul. Because all this mail came in, and which was wonderful because it saved the series for another...
Yeah, that's a good legend, and that should never be, one should never stop that story. The truth is somewhere in between, I suppose. A funny anecdote about that is the series was quite popular when it was on, of course. Not as popular as it became, strangely enough. As when it went into syndication, it became much more popular than it was when it was on network show. But I had this cab over, this truck. That means it's the camper slides onto the truck, and it can be taken off by lowering 4 legs, jacking the legs up. You raise the camper, and you can drive the truck out from underneath, and the camper stands there like this on 4 legs. And at the end of every evening, I'd drive to my little lunar module, get out of my camera.
You were still living Star Trek.
Well, really, and I was in there, and I was alone and homesick, and I was in my room in this little thing, and my dog. And one morning I heard, and I was, it was 8 o'clock in the morning, which is the beginning of the sleeping time for a theater actor. I opened the door, and I was, what is it? And this is little kid, Are you Captain Kirk? No, Captain Kirk, leave me alone. Is this your spaceship? So I said, yeah, it's my spaceship. Okay, can I see your spaceship? I said, come in here. The little kid at 5 or 6 came in, and I showed him the oven, and I said, that's my transporter room. And I showed him the shower, and this is where I come in, and then my TV set's my control room, and I get out of here. And the kid left, and that was about, I don't know, 7, 8, 10 years ago.
Star Trek, the motion picture, you've just completed. $15 million.
That's 2 for Shatner, 2 for...
Uh-oh, I'm off. How much?
By 10, at least.
$25 million?
At least $25 million, and we don't know, and the end is not yet in sight, because the special effects are being put in. It's at least $25 million picture. It's going to be the biggest picture that Paramount will release this year.
Your series ended when?
Series ended in the spring of '70.
Spring of '70.
Winter
so
of
it's about 9 years.
9 years old.
Since they waited to do the. Do you think Star Wars gave it the impetus to do Star Trek?
I think anything that you imagine that if you wish to waste your time speculating how did Star Trek be made a movie, anything you wish to think on probably was part of it. As the increasing popularity of Star Trek happened, then the people at Paramount began to say, "Hey, we got a potential moneymaker here. I wonder how much money could be made out of Star Trek. Should we release it as a series? Should we put it on TV as a movie, or should we do it as a feature?" So those questions must have been going on in their mind. And
was it tough getting the 2 of you back together to do this? Did you not?
Well, Leonard Nimoy never really wanted to do it. He was on to a highly successful career without being Mr. Spock, and he always talked about he never wanted to put the ears back on.
Those were some years.
Those were some years, but that identification for him was not a pleasant one, particularly. He's a serious actor and a serious man, and there at one point he just, as we all did, kind of resented it. Said, hey, it's been off for years. That's enough. We weren't making any money on it. I, on the other hand, had such a marvelous experience with the series, with the various demands that had been made on me as an actor, that I was anticipating having some good fun as an actor.